Assalamu alaikum student and a very good morning to everyone. This is me Mohammad Raim. We are again here in English class 8th chapter, a new chapter 12, disaster management. Uh, Please open your page number 116, chapter number 12, disaster management. We are going to start its reading. Today's lecture is about reading, and we will write in the end after reading. In the end, we will write the meanings of difficult words, and this will be your homework today. So let's start unit number 12, disaster management. Disaster management means to manage something, and disaster means the uh, event that comes suddenly, like flood and other things, earthquake, droughts, floods, cyclones, etc. We will discuss in the later in the chapter. So start. Disaster is defined as a catastrophic event that brings about great damage, destruction, and devastation to life and property. The damage caused by disaster varies depending upon the geographical location, the severity, and above all, the types of disaster. Disasters have been classified into two categories: natural disaster and man disasters. Cyclone, tsunami, floods, droughts, earthquakes, and volcanoes are a few examples of natural disaster, and wars and nuclear accidents fall in the category of man-made disasters. However, the disasters can be mitigated and losses can be minimized with efficient preparedness and management. Disaster management is the process of coordinating and utilizing the available resources to deal with the emergencies effectively in order to save lives, avoid injuries, and minimize losses. On page number 117, disaster management is a systematic process consisting of response and recovery, relief and rehabilitation. However, it remains incomplete without mitigation and preparedness, which are basically pre-disaster management phases. All these phases are very important in the management in managing the disasters. Mitigation. The very first phase of disaster management is a sustained action that reduces both short-term and long-term risks to people and property from the hazards and their effects. It involves activities like scientific hazard analysis, vulnerability analysis, risk assessment, avoiding construction in high risk zone, launching awareness campaigns, training and capacity building of responder and managers, etc. Mitigation, therefore, is an effort to lessen the impact that disaster may cause. Preparedness. The second phase of disaster management is a set of steps that enhance the ability of communities and governments to respond to a disaster. The steps included in this phase are the maintenance of available resources, storage, logistic, planning, communication, planning, and needs assessment. The key to effective disaster management is readiness to provide a rapid emergency response. It entails everyone to be prepared to respond to extreme situations. Response includes the action of responding to an emergency. It aims to providing immediate emergency support to a community to maintain health, safety, and morale until a permanent solution can be put in place. The steps involved in response phase are situation analysis, crisis maps, information, communication, shelters, dispatching of resources, and early damage assessment. Recovery is the process of returning to normal. Recovery pace may be short term as well as long term, and it begins after the disaster. On page number 118, commences recovery phase is consisting of reconstruction, rehabilitation, infrastructure building, housing, livelihood, social security, transport, clean drinking water, communication, and agriculture. Pakistan has fallen victim to disaster many a time. The earthquake 2005, Anza landslides and floods 2010 and 2014 are some of the incidents. The available data suggests that Pakistan suffered heavily as a result of those disasters due to the lack of efficient disaster management. The floods that began in 2010 dealt a serious blow to Pakistan. The flood of such a magnitude had never been witnessed in the history of Pakistan. Heavy monsoon rain in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Sindh, Balochistan, and Punjab were mainly responsible for the floods. The heavy rain also affected Indus River basin. Almost one-fifth of Pakistan submerged in water. Moreover, almost 20 million people were directly affected by the destruction of property, livelihood, and infrastructures, and the death toll rose to about 2,000 people. In the same way, the earthquake also struck the region of Quetta in 1935 and northern areas in 2005 and caused heavy destruction in many areas of Azad Kashmir, AJK, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. According to data, more than 73,000 people died in earthquake of 2005 and almost 2.8 million became homeless. The government has established National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) for disaster management in order to equip the train the trained personnel being the responsible citizens of Pakistan. It is our duty to equip ourselves for disaster management. It will help us to handle the disaster more effectively. Now, student, this is the reading of our unit number 12. Now we are coming to write down the difficult words meaning. difficult word meanings, it is also your homework. All the students should write these difficult words in your neat notebooks as it is here on the slides. Disaster, a sudden event, act of God, accident. In Urdu we can say afat, disaster, afat, musibat. Catastrophic, catastrophic means disastrous, tragic, ruinous. Tabakun, we can say um, tragic and disastrous. Devastation, destruction, ruin. Devastation, destruction, tabai, ruin. Tabashuda, we can say in Urdu. Severity, hardship, badness, stiffness. Severity, mushkil, we can say hardship, mushkil, or badness. Cyclones. Cyclones are the type of storm which are characterized, which are caused by high winds rotating around a low pressure area. Cyclone. Tsunami, a long high sea waves caused by earthquake. When the earthquake comes in the sea, then a sea wave is um, caused. Uh, that is called tsunami. Droughts, dry spell, lack of rain or shortage of water. Khushki, Qait Sali in Urdu we can say. Dry spell, lack of rain or shortage of water. Mitigated, mitigated means to reduce, diminish, lessen, weaken. Kamzori in Urdu we can say reduce, kam karna. Rehabilitation, restoration to good health, or, restoration to good reputation. Recovery we can say. Siyatyab ona in Urdu. Vulnerability, defenselessness, armed. Vulnerability, defenselessness, which has no the power to defense itself. Defenseless. Dispatching, dispatching. Shipment, sending of. कोई चीज़ भेजना, किसी चीज़ की shipment, sending something. So this is all about today's topic, student. These two slides, the last two slides, in which the difficult words are present. These are your homework. You have to write these as it is here in the slides in your neat notebook. There will be a chapter name, unit number 12, disaster management. Thank you, all of you.